First love, be yourself. By Trinesha, Catrell.
Hi, this is Trinesha Catrell, and welcome to First Love Yourself, where love, life, and Christ combine. I am so grateful to have you here on this journey of self-discovery and empowerment with me. In today's video, we're going to talk about rising up and getting released from bondage. But if you're new here, before we get started, go ahead and give me a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel so you never miss out on more uplifting and empowering content like this. So get comfortable because we are about to get into it. Let's go. So earlier today, I'm reading Luke 13, and it talks about 18 twice. And so this is something that stood out to me. And for those of you that don't know, 18 symbolizes bondage and being set free. And so at the beginning, it talks about it being 18 things. And I'm like, oh, so this is about freedom. And then it also talks about the woman who has an infirmity for 18 years and then is released from the infirmity. And it kind of made me think about how when we're on our spiritual journey, or we're walking through life, how we can have all these challenges, and sometimes most of them come from ourselves. It can come from experiences in the past. It can come from us telling ourselves that things aren't possible, and instead of believing that anything is possible, we just stand in our own way. And sometimes we just have to get out of our way and then just release the things that are holding us bound, the things that are holding us back from the things that God wants to do in our life. For me, my struggle is relationships, believing that healthy relationships and, things like that are actually possible in real life. Like for me, like I know healthy relationships exist in the world, but for me, I don't know how to act. Let's just put it that way. That's just me being real transparent in this moment. I don't know how to act. Like I really don't. And so I'm hoping God will teach me in this season how to be a better person so I know how to handle being in a relationship that's actually good. That to be in a relationship with a person who actually treats me the right way, who actually will care and not just deign to be in a relationship with me. Someone who will actually be intentional and all of the other things, whatever else, right? And so, of course, when it comes to God, I believe in God. I know God can do the impossible, but sometimes when I'm thinking about having hope or faith for things, I think about me standing in my own way. I think of me self-sabotaging or me thinking negatively about something or negating a prayer. And we negate our prayers like this. When we say, God, can you please bless my finances? And then we turn around right afterwards and say, I'm always going to be broke. Nobody has money. This is just how it is. We just start poor mouthing the whole situation and start thinking in scarcity. That's how you negate a prayer. If you really want to pray about something, you got to be about it. You got to be like, God, bless my finances, and then leave it in God's hands. You can't say, God, bless my finances, and then turn right around and say, I'm always going to be broke. I'm always going to be paycheck to paycheck. I'm never going to have any money. And you probably never going to have no money because God can't bless you taking back a prayer that you just asked for. The moment that you ask God for something, he's already shipping the answer to you. He already is speaking to somebody else on your behalf to help you. He's already working out something in a building for you to get a position in a job that's going to bless your finances. He's already working out ways for you to be a good steward of your finances right now so that he can give you more in the future. But you have to be open and willing to accept the things that God is trying to give you. You have to get out of your own way and not just think so negatively of every situation. Like if I'm always like, and I don't say at all that there are bad men in this world. I truly believe that there are great men. Everywhere I turn, I meet great men all the time. Now, my my negative cynicism, whatever you want to call it, is usually around the point where I'm like, okay, I know there's good people out there. I believe that God can do anything, but I don't know how he's going to change me to be prepared for that situation. Like, I'm the person standing in my own way of the blessings that God has for me. It's not that God isn't going to come through or that he can't come through. I just, on this journey, no matter how much preparation I do, I just don't see myself getting to a point where I can actually be with somebody. I don't actually see myself like a nice, kind person. I try to be like nice to people and things like that and do the right thing. But just because I'm a nice, kind person doesn't mean I'm going to be a good person to be in a relationship with, or doesn't mean I'm ready for whatever it is. Like, I'm not one of those people that just thinks that, a relationship is going to be like a fairy tale. I know a relationship is going to be real work. It's going to take dedication. It's going to take me really being intentional with my life. I'm going to have to really, really hunker down and really be like, okay, I really do want this relationship because I know that it takes work, because I know I'm going to have to be selfless. I know I'm going to have to die to myself every single day to think about what this person wants over what I want. I'm going to have self-care, but I'm not going to be able to be so selfish that I can just do whatever regardless of how the other person feels. I know that I'm going to have to be the type of person who creates a space for the person to feel safe and seen. I know that every day is going to be about intentionality and really following through on things that take real work. Like, I'm going to really have to be about a relationship in order to be in a real relationship. Now, you could be with anybody. I'm not just trying to be with anybody. If that was the case, I'd be with somebody right now, you know? And I'm not saying that as like a conceited, egotistic kind of way. I mean, any person in this world, if you really want to be with someone, you could be with anybody. But do you really want to just be with somebody, or do you want to be with the person? You know, do you want to be with that person? Do you want to be with the person that God has graced for you? That's what I want in my life. I don't want just a random individual just to be in a relationship with somebody. I really want to be prepared in the off season. I really want God to work on the inside of me so that I can handle the situation in the right way, so that I can go to God so God can teach me how to love this person correctly, how to be respectful of this person from the moment that I meet them until the day, that last days, you know, or whatever. I want to make sure that I'm not just thinking about selfishly what I can get out of a relationship. Like, oh, this person's going to do all these things for me. I got to be thinking about what I can actually add to this person's life. It's not just all about me, you know. I have to be in a position in my life where I'm not just self-sabotaging the relationship and just expecting the worst case scenario or something horrible to happen next. You know, I got to actually be in a mindset where I'm actually open, where my heart is guarded, but it's open to receiving whatever it is that God has for me. And I don't feel like I'm in that place. And whenever I get close enough to actually feel like I'm in that place, then I meet a person who kind of just makes me lose all hope. Just kidding. That sounds so horrible, but no, it's not the person. It's really me. I just be my own worst enemy sometimes. And I feel like some people can probably relate to that, because sometimes we really stand in our own way. God will be like, I got so many things for you. I want to bless you abundantly. I have so many things for your finances, for your personal life, for your romantic life, for your work life. And the only person standing in your way is you. You're the one that's saying, oh no, God, I don't need these extra blessings. Oh no, God, you know, I'm good. I'm content with the amount that I'm making. And God is saying, you might be content with the amount that you're making, but if you make more, you can bless the kingdom. Like, you can do things for the kingdom and not just for yourself. If I give you more and you're already a good steward of these things, why not bless somebody else? I'm not blessing you for your selfish gain. I'm blessing you for the benefit of the kingdom. And sometimes we kind of get it twisted because we start thinking it's about us. Like, oh God, no, I don't need any more money. But how are you going to bless other people if you broke? You know, how are you going to really help other people and go to organizations and help them out and you struggling yourself? And I'm not saying there might not be times where before God blesses your finances that you might not have a moment like that. But I'm just saying that when you're a good steward of things, God is never going to have you in a situation where you're worse off than everybody else that he has you helping. He's going to make sure that you have a exceedingly and abundantly above anything you could ever ask, think, or imagine. I know the Bible says that there will be poor and wealthy people, but you don't have to be a poor person. Like Steve Harvey always says on his thing, you don't have to choose to be the broke person. You could choose to be the wealthy person. And you can use your wealth to benefit the kingdom instead of yourself. You can use the wealth to help other people, because when God blesses you, it's for you to bless other people. I got that from Jerry Flowers. It's really about the kingdom. It's about kingdom work. And sometimes we forget that because we are living this life, and sometimes we get so entitled, like, oh yeah, I deserve this. I deserve all these things. No, our life that we have is a blessing. It's God's grace and mercy. I'm not going to say I deserve everything that God is trying to give me, but if God is giving me something, I'm going to accept it. I'm really praying to God hard, like, God, get me out of my own way, because I know I want joy and peace and happiness. I just, every time I start feeling myself get a little vulnerable, I'm like, It's like it's like when you real stingy with money and you don't want to let that dollar go and you be holding on to it. Ooh, better scenario, right? It's kind of like Ghost with Whoopi Goldberg, and she about to get that money, that check to the bank. That's like $1 million some dollars or whatever else it is, and she didn't know how much it was, and she about to hand over the money, and she holding on to it so hard. That's how we be. We really be like just blocking our own blessings. And so we just have to keep in mind and be conscious of the fact that when we're doing things in life, we got to allow God to bless us the way that he sees fit. If God is trying to give you something, accept it. And when God is telling you to release something, you have to release it. I know it's not always easy. And when people say that, oh, yeah, just say no. Oh, just get rid of this person. You'd be like, but I really like this person. Like, you don't understand. I ain't like nobody. But this one right here, I like this one. And God be like, no, nope. And you'd be like, but God. And God's like, I see conversations when you're not in the room. I know how the situation's going to end. I know that if I give you this person, you're going to idolize them. You're going to idolize being in a relationship because the relationship is not going to be built in me. It's going to be built in the world. And the world changes so much. The ways of the world, the things that people want usually is selfish. It's never anything that's super selfless like it is with God. And so if I give you this person, it's going to all be about you changing your whole lifestyle outside of faith just to be with this person. The person that you see right now is the representative. That is not who they really are. They're not always going to treat you this way. You might think they're so kind and one of the best people that you've met, and they're so consistent and they're pursuing you and all of the things. And God is trying to tell you that that person is not for you. They may look cute. They may do all the things that you prayed that they would do or whatever else. But that person, if they were really for you, God would not say no unless it's the wrong time. And when it's the right time, God would make sure that you are with the person that he graced for you. He's not just going to hold something away from you just because he wants to be a mean, evil person or a mean, evil God. He's doing it because he cares about us and he cares about how things are going to end and not just how it looks temporarily. He's not concerned with your temporary fill or temporary satisfaction that you get off of these people, places, or things. He's concerned about longevity and your life being full of fulfillment, that you being full in your purpose, that you are really living in your destiny, not just living just to live and just to have like some satisfaction right now at this moment. He is really about you having joy unspeakable, about you having peace unlike anything that you've ever felt in your entire life, about you feeling security and all of the things that he blesses you with because it's grace for you and nobody could take it away from you. You don't have to be insecure and worrying about who's going to come take the job, the man, the person, place, the thing, because that thing that's grace for you is from God. God would never give you something that's scarce. He is a God of abundance. So in this season, when you are going through life and you're really feeling like, oh, I've all of my family has had this problem with this thing. I'm just going to be like everybody else. No, you don't have to be like everybody else. You could be the one person that's a billionaire in the family that has an abundance of money. You could be the one person that's in a healthy relationship. You don't have to be in a bad relationship just because that's all you've seen. You don't have to be working 4 jobs if God has one job that's going to provide for you above all those 4 jobs. You don't have to be the type of person that has to pretend like this is the best that life has because God has so much better for you. You don't ever have to settle in life for what the world can offer you when God will give you so much more and it will come with peace. Like God can just do anything. Like I know sometimes we don't believe it. Sometimes we feel like we don't see how things are going to work out or how it's going to get any better or how you'll meet the person or how you'll get the job that's going to finally help your finances or whatever else it is that you've been praying for. But God has it all worked out. All you got to do is be yourself and just keep the faith. Don't grow weary in doing good, for in due season you'll reap a harvest if you faint not. You cannot allow the world to tell you that it's impossible to be treated really good by a person because you deserve to be treated good. You deserve to be with a person who sees you for the person that God created you to be, who wants you to be a better person, but would never try to change you into being something that they want you to be. You deserve to be with the person who is going to really allow you to feel safe and seen, and not to feel like you have to be on guard all the time, or whatever else. You deserve to be in a job where you feel appreciated and you don't feel like on edge every single day. You deserve to be doing something that you love every single day. You don't have to live a life of, oh, I got to do this. No, you get to do these things. If I can give you one suggestion that really helped and blessed my life, is I stopped saying in a lot of scenarios, I have to do this. And I started saying, I get to do this. I get to get up in the morning and go to work. I get to have a child. And I'm not dissing or dogging anybody out. And, even if you don't have children, you're still a mother to other people. There's still so many people that you lead, that you help out, and you don't even understand. Your nieces look up to you. Other women see you successful and doing the things that you're doing, and they receive so many blessings from having you in their life. So don't take that as a dig. And also, whatever it is that you're doing, whether you're a great father or whatever else it is, please stop selling yourself short. I meet some amazing men that really think that they ain't nothing. Like, they really be down on themselves, really be feeling like they're not that person, and they really that person. They just don't know. Like, they'll be like some of the best fathers that I've ever met in my life, just like my dad. And they will be just really like, oh, well, I do all right. I mean, they're consistent. They love and care about their children, their daughters, their sons, whatever else it is, so much. And they work hard, and they really care about everybody else. They take care of everybody else, usually before themselves. And they say, this is just what I'm supposed to do. But they don't even realize how special that is, how much of a gift that is, how much of a blessing that is. Like, they really that person because of their personality, because of the way that they treat people, because of the way they move in their life. And not everybody acts like that. And sometimes we forget about our uniqueness and the gifts that we've been given, because we think it's supposed to look like somebody else. No, it's supposed to look like what you're graced for. You having the gift of being that type of person is amazing. You got to know who you are. Like, don't let this world try to tell you that you're not enough because of one thing that they want you to be. You are who you are. Be who you are, and be pleased with the person that God created you to be. Stop trying to be somebody else. Don't act like you don't care if you're a person that cares all the time. That that's the coolest thing ever. Stop trying to pretend like you're not gonna pursue, and you're gonna act like you just gonna just do whatever when you're the type of person who pursues. There's a woman out there that wants you to be pursuing. And there's a woman out there that wants you to be consistent. She don't just want this toxicity in her life of somebody that act like they don't know what they want to do in their life. They want to go with the flow. There's women out there that's like looking for that. So stop trying to be somebody else and just be who you are, the best version of you. Because, man, let me tell you something. There's some amazing men out here who are great leaders. They just have to know who they are, and stand by it. Stop trying to be like your friends, your boys, all these people you see in the world or on TV or wherever else it is, to try to satisfy some guy who ain't going to pay your bills, or somebody who's going to bring you down the wrong path, or somebody who's just having you unfocused and distracted in life, going down the wrong path or doing the wrong things because they feel like you got to do such and such just to be a man. No, a real man takes care of responsibilities. A real man does the things that you do. So be who you are. Stop. And this is a woman thing too. I'm not getting on people. I'm just saying I see these amazing traits in people, and people trying to change who they are because they feel like they want to be like everybody else, because they feel like they have to fit into the world. No, you weren't born to fit into the world. You were born to be different. The women out there who walk in the straight and narrow, and you see all these other women doing videos, creating accounts, doing all the things, and you feel like because you're doing the right thing, you're doing something wrong because you barely meet anybody, or you meet people but everybody want to go with the flow, or whatever your situation is. Just know that as long as you keep trying to be the best version of yourself, God is going to send the person for you. You don't have to be like any of those other people. You don't have to do the wrong thing just to get attention. You could just be yourself. You don't have to wear something extra. You could just dress in style, and you will meet the person that's for you. You don't have to be doing the most to get the things that God graced for you. They're just going to flow into your life and not go with the flow. They're going to flow into your life. So I had to make sure that I made that in a bold statement. It's just time for us to rise up and go after the things that God has for us. Just allow those things to come into your life the way that God intended them to at the appointed time. We don't have to do the most, be anybody different but ourselves at our best. That's it. Whenever you feel like you got to be somebody else, that's probably not the person for you. Whenever you feel like you got to disrespect, dishonor yourself to keep or be with somebody, that's not the person for you. If you ever feel like you're missing something, it's because you probably have to do more on purpose or just spend some time with God to figure out what direction He wants you to go in. Sometimes God just needs you to take a moment to just rest because He doesn't want you to be overwhelmed in the next season. So from now on, be the best version of yourself. Allow God to release the cynicism and anything that's holding you back in your life from achieving your dreams, being in purpose, or being the person that you know you can be. Don't try to be somebody else to fit into a friend group or to be friends with the person you were in elementary school, your A1 day one, whatever else it is. Your A1 day one might have been cool back then, but if you're becoming a better person and they're making you who you used to be and not who you're becoming, then you probably have to cut it loose or create some distance. You're supposed to be the best version of yourself, not who somebody else wants you to be. And they could say, oh, you changing. It's nothing wrong with changing for the better. You have to be the best version of you and really love the people who are really there for you, who really do care about you, and not treat them like crap just because it looks good to other people. Like, really appreciate the people that you have in your life because God blessed you with them. Appreciate the things that God's giving you because not everybody has that. And it's not a comparison thing, it's an appreciation thing. It's a grateful, thankful thing. So when we appreciate the life that we have and we're a good steward, God can give us more. So get rid of the things that are holding you bondage. That cynicism, negative self-talk, any of the things that make you compromise your integrity, and be the best version of yourself, the person who you are always supposed to be in purpose. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Well, it's going to be cutting it close. So I have family movie night tomorrow. So it's going to be difficult to exercise and go to family movie night and be on here unless I'm on here at like 10 o'clock at night. So I may or may not be here tomorrow, but I will definitely be on here on Sunday. So have a good night and I will see you guys soon. Just enjoy your life. You get to have this life. So appreciate it. Bye.